When Terminator 2 was originally released in 1991, it became one of the definitive movies of the early 1990s. However, from casual audiences that had seen the feature of the time, there were details pertaining to it that were edited or changed, and as a result were only known to more serious fans of the Terminator franchise. But the speculative scenario is this: the lesser known yet surprisingly realistic glitches from T-1000. The original concepts of Terminators were from lore and story presented in the original two films. Terminators were robotic beings created by Skynet to destroy the human population. Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800 model, depicted in the original movie, was a literal killing machine. Specific human-based appearances, weapon usages, vehicle knowledge, relentless will, and a desire to do absolutely anything to complete its mission, or to kill its assigned target. But Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, and Michael Biehn's Kyle Reese were able to destroy the Terminator. Audiences of the time knew the details of the movie, and James Cameron knew that as well, which was why he intentionally conceived of the premise for Robert Patrick's T-1000 to be so different as it was. A machine is still a machine, and a weakness was displayed through the first film, so as a result, naturally a weakness was depicted and displayed through the second film as well. Or was it? When Judgment Day was released, there were no real mentions of the glitches, just multiple references through dialogue from characters and depictions throughout the movie about the T-1000 being weak to either extreme heat or to extreme cold. The original release of the film in theaters across the United States and even internationally had only basic examples of weaknesses from the T-1000, and audiences of the time thought nothing too much from what was shown in the cut of the film at that time. James Cameron devised the weakness of the T-1000 model as mentioned, but from information now known, there were actually more examples and even further displays of the weaknesses in the film from the particular glitches within the composition of the Terminator model in discussion. Though the glitches from the T-1000 existed, cuts from the movie at the time nearly eliminated all references to it, aside from minor examples that anyone saw from the basic cut of the film in the early 1990s. James Cameron thought viewers should see the progressed weakness of the T-1000, but other developers and producers of the movie thought there should be nothing of the sort presented for audiences to witness. Conflicting sources had it that there were divided opinions on the deleted scenes from the movies that dealt with or displayed the glitches to viewers. While some believed that the T-1000 not having a clearly laid weakness might confuse audiences, while others believed that the T-1000 clearly displaying a weakness gave an extra aspect of interpretation to the antagonist of the movie. Eventually, the particular scenes were deleted, and those who believed that the scenes removed would add to the allure or lethal interpretation of the T-1000 were later proven to be correct. Audiences later believed that the model was nearly indestructible and even more of a threat than the T-800, but the glitch scenes were still something of a massive importance to the fandom and the overall lore or story for the Terminator franchise. The glitches displayed by the T-1000 model malfunctioning were still interesting displays of the nanobot composed Terminator. The nanomachines, essentially microscopic robots, all functioning and working together within a greater mass, which was the quote-unquote liquid metal that was explained as the T-1000 in the movie. Dialogue in passing mentioned that the T-1000 was an experimental model, and the entire war against the human resistance was failing due to resources being put into the prolonged war against humanity, and the T-800 was the culmination or last-ditch effort that Skynet could do against John Connor on the resistance. It was suggested that the weakness to extreme heat or extreme cold were unforeseen by Skynet. The deleted scenes confirm that the glitching and slight malfunctioning by the T-1000 after being completely frozen by the liquid nitrogen on being blown apart. Later on, the stress magnified by it being melted and exposed to extraordinary temperatures when reforming. These scenes and situations for the T-1000 were not known by casual audiences of Judgment Day for years, and even decades after the film's release.